Kentucky football. 1-2 on the season. Fans, though, still into it. They think there's a long way to go in this season. The Cats, could they turn it around? Well, we'll start today. Back-to-back games against teams from Athens. The good news, though, for the Cats, this one from Athens, Ohio, as the Ohio Bobcats come a-calling to Kroger Field, and the Cats getting set for this non-conference matchup. A lot to like for Kentucky despite the loss last week to the University of Georgia. Fell by just 1 point, but still looking for that elusive touchdown. Have not scored in 8 quarters now, hoping they can break that stretch here this afternoon as they take on a team that's had back-to-back 10-win seasons and back-to-back bowl victories under their head football coach, Tim Albin. Let's go down to Ashley Shamedy with Coach Stoops.
All right, Coach, what's one of the first you're going to look for from your guys as you start this game, look to build from last weekend?
Just the consistency, the execution. This is the type of team you have to go beat them. They're not going to give you anything. So we just have to take it one play at a time, truly. And that's hard to get it in their mentality. They all want to go from 0 to 60 immediately. It's one play at a time.
Coach, good luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ashley. Welcome to our broadcast position. Dave Neal alongside SEC's all-time leading passer, Aaron Murray. So glad you could join us. And it has been a tough couple of weeks, no doubt. My question is, as a former player, how do you kind of move past that and still stay on task?
It's tough, no doubt about it. But I think for them, going back to last week's loss to Georgia, the #1 team, now #2 team in all of college football, you gain a lot of confidence from that. And you go back a couple weeks ago to USC, it was a sloppy game, a lot of mistakes on both sides of the football. They cleaned that up. I expect a team going forward that can contend in most of their games the rest of the way.
Well, certainly the game against South Carolina 2 weeks ago was one that Coach Stoops still talks about as just a disappointing performance from beginning to end. I don't think he was that disappointed in the effort and how they executed against Georgia last week. I think he was just disappointed in the way that one ended, but still a lot to build on. And maybe this is the day we get to see what Brock Vandagriff is all about.
Well, and I think it all depends on that offensive line. You go back 2 weeks ago versus South Carolina, and not great protection up front, and it is very difficult to play the quarterback position when you're running around, and he's a great athlete. He can make plays, but they really want to develop this passing game, have him settled in the pocket. They have some really talented receivers on the outside. Let's see if we can get them going early on in this football game.
Well, over across the sideline from Coach Stoops is Tim Albin, who took over for the legendary Frank Solich. Had a tough go of it right out of the gate, but he has turned this thing certainly in the right direction. As we said, back-to-back 10-win seasons and also back-to-back bowl victories. 58 new players on this Ohio roster. 15 players, though, have been ruled out for this game because of injuries or they are questionable, including their quarterback, Parker Navarro. Anxious to see who takes the snaps for the Bobcats today against Kentucky. And listen, this Kentucky defense is real. They have got some dudes now on that side of the football.
All 3 levels. They are very, very talented. I mean, Georgia's one of the best offenses in the country. Offensive line, Carson at quarterback, E.T. and that running back, really good receivers and tight ends, and they shut them down for 4 quarters in this stadium a week ago. That is a confidence builder for that unit.
Well, Ohio won the toss. They defer, so Kentucky will get the opening kickoff. And one of the best in the country, maybe the best, Barion Brown, is back to return this one. And Coach Albin told us this week, he says, one thing we're not going to do is kick to that guy right there. Well, so we'll see if that's the truth or not here in a matter of moments. 4 career touchdown returns on kickoffs for Barion Brown. Fifth meeting between these two clubs. Last time they met was in 2014. Here's a little pooch kick. That'll be taken by Demie Sumo-Karngbaye, and he is dropped just outside the 20-yard line, and that is where Kentucky will have their opening possession. So Brock Vandagriff, 6'3", 217-pound junior out of Bogart, Georgia. Of course, transferred in from Georgia after 3 years in Athens, and I think you're talking to the staff yesterday, they're still waiting to see how good Brock can be as a quarterback.
Well, let's not forget, Dave, this is his 4th game as a starting quarterback. He got a lot of reps at Georgia and some time in 3rd and 4th quarters. He got some time against Kentucky a year ago playing in that game, but it's a different mentality when you are the guy playing, and he's just going to keep getting better and better. Very hard worker, talented quarterback as well.
Run game was solid for Kentucky last week. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye, career high 98 yards on the ground. They will get it to the outside, and that's a first down on the first play of the game, going to Demie Sumo-Karngbaye, knocked out of bounds by Dustin Johnson on the back end. Gain of 17 to start things.
Those are the easy completions that Kentucky wants to get, Dave. Just get the ball to their athletes in space. They don't have to be exposed to plays with post routes and go balls, just easy swing routes.
Sumo-Karngbaye can't get past a couple of Ohio defenders. Tank Pearson, the first one there for the Bobcats.
I think for Kentucky heading into this game right now, lack of depth at the running back position. A great game last week from Demie Sumo, and they need more running backs, and you're going to see, obviously, Brock Vandagriff and his legs along the way. Wimsatt, the backup quarterback, Gavin, you'll see throughout the football game as well. Got to spread the carries out on this unit.
Sumo-Karngbaye averaging almost 5 yards per carry this season. On 2nd down and 9, they'll come this way with it. There's Sumo-Karngbaye again. He is to the 43, a drop there, so a 3rd down relatively long coming up now for the Cats after that 2-yard pickup.
That's a good job for this defense. What has Ohio done well to start the season? They've kept everything in front of them. They've limited explosive plays down the field, and they've tackled really well in space. First play of the game, a couple missed tackles, gave up the first down, but right now, in space against these great athletes for Kentucky, finding a way to wrap up to get to this 3rd and, I would say, medium to long situation.
Wilcox in the game now at running back. Pressure comes underneath route. Barion Brown's going to have to try to find some room, and there is none. So Ohio will force a 4th down. Blake Leak, the graduate senior, leading the charge for Ohio. And here comes the Kentucky punt team. So a 1st down gain of 17 yards, and not much after that for the Cats.
The defensive backs and linebackers dropped in depth. I mean, good read by Brock. You have to do what you have to do.
Number 22 is now 89 for Ohio.
Dropping 7 yards in depth. You check the tech down, and the group tackling effort right now for the past 3 plays for Ohio, able to get them off the field.
Wilson Berry averaging 41 yards per kick this season. It is a high, booming kick. That'll hit inside the 10. Well done back there by Coleman Owen, the wide receiver back on the punt return to Deke, the punt coverage team, and that's a touchback. So here comes Nick Polis, backup quarterback, will get the start today for Parker Navarro, who was listed as questionable, and we were told right before the game it's an undisclosed injury. We didn't get much information at all about Parker's ability until moments ago, and apparently he is not good to go. We watched him in warm-ups, didn't throw many passes, if any at all. So they'll go with Nick Polis, who played a little bit last week, 2 of 4 for 25 yards. He did rush it 8 times. Trey Tyus is your running back. Boy, is he a good one. He is an SEC-type back. But they'll throw here on 1st down. Polis, boy, hit as he throws, and that one hops at the 25-yard line. Keyshawn Silver was the defensive player that got in there to disrupt the play.
It's his perfect timing for Silver. Talking to the coaching staff yesterday, he's done a great job in the run game, but they want to see him take another step when it comes to getting after the quarterback. Good job getting there to deflect and knock the quarterback's arm, because there's a wheel route down the sideline for a possible big play to get things going for this offense for Ohio.
Saw Parker Navarro there, of course, their starter from game 1, 12 of 15 last week. He did have some interception issues along the way and didn't play in the second half. They'll pitch it. Tyus makes one man miss, but here comes a swarm of blue jerseys. Javon Dumas-Johnson, Ty Bryant converge on that tackle for a loss of 4.
Well, Dumas-Johnson right there does a great job playing both quarterback and running back, stringing up the run play where the quarterback really had no idea what to do. Did he pitch it? Does he hold it? ends up pitching it late, and Dumas Johnson's able to play both of them. It's an Ohio offense that needs to be productive early on. First, second down. Dave, you said Tyus has had a great start to the football season, and now this offensive line going against this defensive line, see what they do to get the ball in the quarterback's hands quickly.
Dangerous situation here, 3rd down and long. Or 3rd down and 13. Pressure comes. Polis throws, gets the pass away, caught by his tight end Mason Williams, but he gets it out to the 23-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Well done out there by Zion Childress, who was playing some super football for Kentucky.
Well, Zion's just playing fast right now. Last year he was playing more that safety, strong safety, free safety role, and playing high safety and just a lot of thinking. Right now they moved him, still playing the safety position, but a little bit more nickel as well, and he can just react, play fast, be an athlete. Had a great conversation with him about that yesterday, and he feels like he's playing some of the best football he's played in his life.
Jamori Macklin back to return this punt. Jack Wilson averaging 42 yards per punt this year, gets it away. Line drive kick. Macklin will pick it up on one bounce, makes a couple of guys miss, and finally dropped at 35. A little nifty return. So Kentucky will have their 2nd possession when we come back. Scoreless here in the Commonwealth. First quarter football from Lexington. Back in a moment. Scoreless here in the first quarter. Time to take a look at today's Fubu TV keys to the game.
For Ohio, I think they got to be more successful first, second down. They did not do that in the first possession. Must be disruptive on the other side of the football. And for Kentucky, protect Brock Bowers. I want to see him be able to throw the football from a clean pocket and push the ball vertically down the field and then just limit the explosives. They did that really well a week ago against the Bulldogs.
Fubo TV keys to the game. Keep an eye on those over the next 3+ quarters. Wilcox in the game at running back. Boy, big hole off the left side. And he is into Ohio territory down to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 19 yards.
It's an offensive line gained a lot of confidence last week, but these guys being able to hit the gap scheme, something that Coach talked to us yesterday about with the movement that Ohio does defensively, they're able to gap scheme them, get north, and create some big creases.
Wimsatt is in the game now. The backup quarterback wearing number 2. Thought we'd see him. He'll keep it here. And he'll have it inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Shea Taylor able to bring him down. But we were told we were going to see some Brock Vandagriff and Gavin Wimsatt, both of them on the field at the same time. They just want to see a lot of Wimsatt. They love what he brings to the table.
Well, I love what he brings to the table, but they also feel like they're going to take hits off of Brock. Don't have to incorporate him as much in the run game.
Demie Sumo-Karngbaye on that carry. He will be to the 35. That should be good enough to move the chains. First down's not an issue for Kentucky last weekend against the Bulldogs. Had over 20 first downs. Just when they got to the 35-yard line, things stalled out, but luckily for them, they did have Alex Rayner to kick some field goals, who had a career day.
Well, it's hard to score in the red zone, especially against a defense like Georgia. You have to hit some explosive plays and see if they take a shot here on first or second down.
Quick slant over the middle, pass is caught. Dane Key with his 9th catch of the year, now 88 for 9th of the season, 88th of his career.
A beautiful seam ball. I love the play action from Brock. You see the second level kind of suck up, thinking run, and then puts an accurate pass on the big receiver. Very friendly route, and now we're inside the 20. They've had field goals. Can they find a way to get in the end zone now?
Flag is down. Big hole off the right side for Jamarion Wilcox.
Offsides, defense, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So that'll move it inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Kentucky 7 of 8 inside the red zone this year with 4 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Sumo-Karngbaye down to the 10-yard line. Pick up 4. Bring up second down and short.
And Dave, when you get in the red zone, it's all about matchups. Where can I find my best one-on-one? Whether that's a quarterback run, whether that's getting our receivers involved with jet sweeps or quick screens on the outside. Just find ways to get athletes of football. Find that one-on-one for Brock, and then go out there and take advantage of it.
A couple of tight ends in the game for Kentucky. They'll move them to the right side of the line. And a whistle will stop play, and a flag comes out, and that'll be a false start against Kentucky.
False start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's Gerald Mincy, who last week called out by his coach for just fighting through some serious pain, but gutted out that injury against Georgia.
Well, one thing that will stop your ability to score touchdowns in the red zone are penalties. You got to be better. You almost have to be perfect inside the red area. And right now, back to the backup quarterback. Gavin is in.
Wimsatt takes the snap. He will keep it himself and met right there in the hole. Well done by Shea Taylor, the redshirt junior out of Mount Perry, Ohio.
Well, Kentucky loves the shift in motion and try to get the linebackers moving side to side. And right there, Taylor does not get fooled by the fake jet sweep. Stays home. He sees the pulling guard and tackle going from left to right. Has his keys. And then gets south to be able to make the tackle.
Vandagriff back in at quarterback on 3rd down. Vandagriff trying to turn the corner, diving toward the 10-yard line. They're going to spot him out of bounds, though, closer to the 12, maybe the 13-yard line. Braylon Henderson chases him out of bounds. So let's see what Coach Stoops wants to do here on a 4th down situation.
Oh, you know this is frustrating just to be able to get a little bit of the Boo Birds right now inside Kroger Field. They want to see 7 points on the board, but listen, early on in this game, nice drive. You take points early.
So a 30-yard field goal attempt from Alex Rayner, who was 17 of 18 in his career at UK. 4 of 4 versus the Bulldogs last weekend, including 2 from over 50 and a 55-yarder for the school record. This one from 30 yards, and it is, as you might expect, dead, solid, perfect. So the Cats won at 7. They'll have to settle for 3. 5:48 to go, first quarter. Kentucky leads at 3-0 over Tim Albin's Ohio Bobcats. Of course, came in here hoping he'd see Parker Navarro, but he's had to go to his backup quarterback. For more on that, let's go down to Ashley.
Yeah, guys, Nick Polis making his first career start. Coach Albin was telling us this week that they honestly were trying to get Nick in for the first 2 games. It just didn't work out. So last week, when Parker was obviously having some trouble, that's when Nick came in for that second half. And Coach Albin said, look, I was really pleased with how he handled himself coming into that game. I also asked Parker about his relationship with Nick, and he said that is something that I've really focused on because I know how important it is to be a good teammate to the backup quarterback. They watch a ton of film together. They have lots of conversations about football and things off the field as well. Describe their relationship as 2 guys that just want the best for each other. So Parker on the sidelines really helping Nick. I've been watching them, and I'll continue to monitor their relationship during this game, guys.
All right, that goes to the back of the end zone, and we will see Nick Polis come out after his club falls behind 3-0. Our Week 4 SEC football lineup continues today at 4:15 Eastern Time as number 7 Missouri will host Vanderbilt here on the SEC Network. See if the Tigers can keep it rolling. Followed by Georgia Southern and 5th-ranked Ole Miss, 7:45 Eastern Time from lovely Oxford. Also tonight exclusively over on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus, Bowling Green meets Texas A&M, and number 1 Texas hosts Louisiana Monroe. Arch Manning and General Booty. That's right, the 2 quarterbacks in that game between Texas and Louisiana Monroe. First down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Ricky Hunt Jr. lines up as a tailback in that pistol formation. They will hand it off to Ricky Hunt. He stood up after a gain of 2. John Dumas Johnson, the first one there. Well, how much does it change, Aaron, just like Ohio's mindset when you know that your guy Parker Navarro just not going to go?
It's tough, but I think seeing what Polis did last week in the football game and his athleticism, size, good arm. Remember, he's only been here on campus for a few months, so he's still learning the playbook, so very limited to what they can do.
Quick hitter over the middle. That'll be a first down over the 35. Goes to Rodney Harris, the second. Redshirt sophomore driving the pile out over the 40, close to the 42-yard line. Gain of 15 when it's all said and done.
And these are the quick hitters you love to see for a quarterback, just to kind of get your feet wet. You saw the first play of the game. They try to take a shot. Arm gets deflected. Ball kind of wobbles out of there. Get it out. And I also want to see a little bit more QB run for Ohio. Utilize those legs.
Hand it off to Ricky Hunt again off the left side. He's to the 45-yard line, stays in bounds, clock continues to run.
Go back to what you said, like, what does that do to the psyche of a football team? It's tough, especially because, going back to the point I made about Polis just getting to campus in June, all of a sudden on offense, you built this playbook for one quarterback and to do one thing, and all of a sudden that gets changed heading into a game against a really good Kentucky defense is very difficult to manage.
Polis out of El Camino Junior College in California. He's a California kid out of Granite Bay, California. Not much happening there. Wrapped up by the big fella, Deion Walker. 6'6", 345, the All-American. Loss of one.
And he is all of 6'6", 345, one of the best in the country from that tackle position on the defense side of the football. And there, Kentucky bringing an overload blitz, two guys from the field, and that's when you like a more experienced quarterback to be able to check out of that.
That's not a good sign, him going right to the training table after making the tackle. Keep an eye on Big Deion. Third down, though, for the Bobcats. Poles, hit. We're going to say incomplete pass. So it'll be fourth down coming up.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass, fourth down.
Great coverage, and then this is the speed of Kentucky's defense on the back end. You think as a quarterback who's athletic, you can get around there, you see some green grass, and all of a sudden, bam, comes another defender for Kentucky right around the corner. I was impressed a week ago. I was impressed 2 weeks ago for South Carolina to take away some of those explosive plays. The speed of this defense at all three levels.
Jamori Macklin back to return this punt. End over end kick. Chases him inside the 10. They'll take a favorable Kentucky bounce into the end zone, so it will be a touchback. Cats lead it by 3, still searching for that first touchdown in over 2 games. Some news from around the Southeastern Conference, and obviously new #1 this week. Texas takes over for the first time since October of 2008. Of course, a huge one tonight. Josh Heupel going back to Norman. Tennessee and Oklahoma. Sooners' first conference game. Of course, Florida, Mississippi State, 2 teams looking for something. And Arch Manning getting the start tonight against ULM in Austin. Long throw across the field, well done. Brock Vandagriff hits Barion Brown. The junior out of Nashville, Tennessee, picks up his second catch this afternoon.
For all the young receivers out there, look at how aggressive Barion Brown is. It looks like a go ball. Looks like a post route. Looks like a million different routes to the DB. Puts his feet in the ground, comes back, and then a perfectly thrown football from Brock Vandagriff on time. That's a big boy throw across the field.
First down and 10 now for Kentucky. They've had a couple of big chunks of yardage here in the first quarter. 19-yard gain, 17-yard gain. Handoff to the right side. This is another big gainer. Jamarion Wilcox almost broke that one to the house, but picks up 21.
Dustin Johnson with a touchdown-saving tackle coming from the safety position. And we continue to see this offensive line, guys pulling, getting to the second level, doing a great job on their double teams as well.
That pistol formation, Vandagriff. Wilcox stands behind him. Get it to Wilcox. Hits the hole hard. Little dead leg at the line of scrimmage. Stiff arm, and he is inside the 20. Dustin Johnson couldn't bring him down. Another big chunk, 23 yards this time around.
This stiff arm is just, this is cool, this is mean. One-on-one with the safety and gives him a punch to the face. Dave would be KO'd for the rest of the game with that one.
I would be in the food position crying right now. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye. Nothing doing on that run off the left side. Tank Pearson, the first white jersey to meet him.
In the red zone. Touchdown time. It's been moving the ball. You talked about Dave last week versus Georgia, the amount of first downs. I mean, heck, they started from the half-yard line one drive and had to move the ball against that defense. They can move it. It's just the attention to detail inside the 20 just needs to get cleaned up a little bit.
82 yards on the ground for the Cats here in the first quarter. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye in the backfield. Offset from Vandagriff. Now he goes out to the right. They look that way. Come back left. Here's Brown. Slips on the turf. No gain on the play. I talked to Vandagriff yesterday. I said, what's it going to be like when we finally get the ball in the end zone? He says, man, it's all just, like, you know they think about it. And then, of course, 100%. We got to bring it up.
Yeah, we bring it up in meetings. I'm sure they get brought up on campus. I mean, right now, 10 seconds to go in the quarter, I'd kind of just regroup, let this thing bleed down, get back to the sideline and figure out how can we convert here in a third and long situation.
And that will be the end of the first 15 minutes. Kentucky.
This is the end of the first quarter.
With a 30-yard field goal from Alex Rayner. They're only scoring in the first 15 minutes. Second quarter football coming up on the other side.
Tim Albin and Coach Nick Polis getting the start, obviously getting settled in a little bit. What do you want to see from him as we get ready to start the second quarter?
I think really on both sides, we got to settle in. They're really fast on both sides of the ball. That's the biggest thing I've seen. Too many missed tackles on defense, and I think we got to try to have some running game to help Nick in the passing game.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Also his focus here on his Bobcats trying to stop this Kentucky team. Sixth play of this drive. They've already eaten up 64 yards in over 3 minutes. Vandagriff looking to throw toward the end zone. Pass is caught down there by Dane Key, but he's going to be just shy. It'll be first and goal for the Cats. Can they pick up the 6-pointer here?
Well, yeah, the cover 2 safety over the top and just breaks it very friendly. 6'3", 210.
Sumo-Karngbaye in for the touchdown, and the streak is over. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye with the touchdown, and the Cats lead it 9-0.
And Mark Stoops can just breathe, and the entire sideline can just breathe, is what you want. Zone, get downhill. Sumo-Karngbaye has been terrific over the past 2 weeks. And you finally get that monkey off your back. 9 straight quarters, Dave, of no touchdowns finally broken.
So Alex Rayner steps onto the field. He is 4 out of 4 point afters this year. He has just been perfect all the way around. Out of the hold of Wilson Berry. The kick is on the way, and it is through the uprights. So the Cats don't take long here in the second quarter to put it in the end zone. They lead it 10-0. ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. For more on this, let's go down to Ashley.
Guys, for Ohio's Trey Tyus, he immediately had a teacher, well, actually vice principal in mind. He told me about Kelly Hinga from Portage Northern High School in Trey's hometown of Portage, Michigan. Trey said Kelly Hinga has always been so close with his family. All of his siblings currently go to that high school. She's just someone who's always supported him, still texts him before every single game, comes to see him in as many as possible. Trey said she's just someone who always goes the extra mile, which is why she's the perfect recipient of the Extra Yard for Teachers initiative, guys.
Great story. Thanks, Ashley. You know, you ask these guys every week, you know, a teacher in your life, and they all have one or two that just come to their mind immediately that had such a big impact on them. And it's great to see. And so glad we can tell those stories throughout the season as well.
Laros, the kicker right now, his mom's a 4th grade teacher, and I know a lot of their students are watching this game right now. Great, nice big leg from the young man.
Duncan Brune on this return. He's out to the 20-yard line. Don't forget our Week 4 SEC football lineup continues today at 4:15 Eastern Time as number 7 Missouri hosts Vanderbilt right here on this network, followed by Georgia Southern and 5th-ranked Ole Miss, 7:45, and then on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus tonight, it's Bowling Green and Texas A&M, and number 1 Texas hosting Louisiana Monroe. So Trey Tyus, the 3rd back at running back, 7th in the FBS in rushing. He's averaging 7.5 yards per carry. But that will go down after this one. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Khalil Saunders, the junior, bringing him down.
Well, they're going to play a 2-high safety, and you see a lot of responsibility for the quarterback right now to make the decision. It looks like a light box, but what does Kentucky do? They add DJ Waller, number 5, at the quarterback position. He comes in there to add an extra defender against the run as well. So as a quarterback, you think, okay, we got 5 on 5. Not so fast. Corners coming in there.
Empty set for Nick Polis. 4-man rush. Throw over the middle. Pass is caught. That'll be a first down for Ohio. And they go to their main guy on the outside, Coleman Owen, who now has 22 catches on the year.
One-on-one in the slot. Look at the patience. Does a good job of forcing the nickel defender. Childress to the outside, and then bam, breaks it across his face. 1-2 read for the quarterback. Go to number 3 receiver. He's not there. And then you go to your number 1 target, Coleman Owen, to get the first down.
Coleman had 10 catches, 137 yards against Syracuse in the opener. Here's Tyus trying to make a man miss. Gets through 1 tackle, but a flag comes in late.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Go to our referee today. That'll back up Ohio. Looked like a nice 9-yard run, but helped by the holding call, obviously.
Something we have not seen this offense through the first quarter is getting Tyus involved. He's been kind of the workhorse of the running back position through the first quarter. Only 1 carry for a 3-yard loss. Let's see if they can get number 2 going.
First down and 20. Three-man rush. Pass caught there by Chase Hendricks. Jackson making the stop there, but Trey Tyus has been the dude. Transfer from Northwestern. 203 yards rushing against Syracuse in the opener. A couple of touchdowns. You see where he ranks amongst the FBS tailbacks. He has been hard to bring down with 28 missed tackles. On second down. Nobody missed him on that one. Keyshawn Silver led the way. Gain of 4. Now 3rd down and long coming up.
I think this Ohio offense right now, who else can step up besides Coleman Owen, number 6 in the slot, and Hendricks, number 7, who caught a pass a couple plays ago. He's going to be that next guy, and he's going to play your X receiver on the bottom of the screen. If you get a one-on-one opportunity, good chance to see if he can take some pressure off Coleman on the other side of the slot.
Polis 4 out of 6 for 40 yards throwing the football. Pressure comes. Polis sees it, tries to split a couple of blue jerseys, and he dives forward. They're going to spot him close to the line to gain at the 44. Let's see what they do with the chains. They're going to move him first down. Alex Safari will get credit for the tackle.
Watch Tyus find and locate the late blitzing nickel linebacker. Great job by the running back to give his quarterback the ability to step up, step up, step up. Nothing's there, and then finally we get to see the athleticism of Polis getting the first down with his legs.
That's 6'6", 234. Nick Polis. 37 yards on 8 carries last week. First down and 10, 4-man rush. Lofts it up high, passes bobbled and caught by Chase Hendricks. He's inside the 30. He's down to the 26-yard line. Christian Story, transfer from Alabama in his first year here in Lexington, brings him down, but a 30-yard pickup.
And it's a scary pass. I thought he's going to have an opportunity just to run this football. And then Derek Jackson, number 54, was in a position to possibly get a hand on it, but great concentration. We talk about Hendricks needing to make some plays in this game. That's a big one right there for this offense.
Polis, another quick hitter. That one's batted in the air. Derek Jackson got his hand on it, knocked it to the turf.
You should make sure as a quarterback, there is no flat control. You actually see the running back going from right to left, and that's who Derek would have in a match zone concept. And really would love that running back, the free release to the flat, to the boundary to open up that space for the receiver to make that catch.
Derek Jackson now with 3 passes broken up this year. Has 4 career interceptions. Seems to be around the football in the pass game quite a bit. Second down and 10. Here's Dennis. Couple of missed tackles. Little nifty run. He put the ball on the deck. The beanbag comes out. Was he out of bounds when the ball fell out of his arms? Derek Jackson was the first one there. Jordan Lovett came in to fall on the football.
Great moves, though, making defenders miss.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Kentucky.
And he goes to reach to get the first down, and I think we're going to have to look and see, does the knee go down? I don't think out of bounds is going to come to play here, Dave. It's either does that right knee come down before the ball comes out. We're going to take a few more looks during the break, and we'll see, does Kentucky get the big turnover?
The ruling on the field is a 10.
Well, Ohio is going to retain possession.
You see the right knee coming down, still has it in his left hand. I actually think his right hand knocks it out a little bit, but ball is still in control there as the right knee goes down. And a terrific run from Dennis, making defenders miss left and right. And gotta be a little bit more careful with the football, but ball still with Ohio, and a nice drive going on right now as they are inside the red zone.
Dennis, the one-time Michigan Wolverine, a graduate out of the great state of Massachusetts, now in Athens, Ohio. Well, that was a close call for the Bobcats. They are inside the red zone, fresh set of downs. They have been good in the red zone, 10 out of 11 in their scoring opportunities, but could use a few more touchdowns. There's 6 touchdowns and 4 field goals. So from the 16-yard line, it'll be first down and 10 Ohio. Tyus, your tailback behind Polis. They give it to Tyus. He'll take it down to the 10-yard line where Derek Jackson's the first one there, but a gain of 6 right out of the gate.
It's a really good block from Mason Williams, the tight end, number 85 on the crossbar, coming from right to left, taking on a defensive tackle for Kentucky to open up a little bit more of a window for the running back to get skinny. There's the benefit of having a running back like Tyus in the red zone, be able to get those numbers when it's a little bit more difficult to throw the ball.
Again, Tyus top 10 in the FBS in rushing yards. We'll move to the right side of Polis. Just do get the snap off. Tyus stays on his feet, almost knocked down by his quarterback, but he'll have a first down close to the 5-yard line. Christian Story there to bring him down.
Dumas Johnson is going to play both running back and quarterback, but the balance of Tyus to not get taken down by his own quarterback, keep his feet. Dumas doing a good job of reading these option routes earlier, was right there, and once again, just a better run by the running back for Ohio.
First and goal from the 5. 3 receivers near side. Split the tight end out to the wide side, the far side of the field. Moving the pocket to the left. Polis just throws it in to the back of the end zone. Nowhere to go with it.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage.
Hey, how tough is that throw, moving left like that on the short field?
You're trying to get the quicker. You're hoping for some sort of rub route between your number 1 and number 2 receiver, and Kentucky played it really, really well, and nothing was there. Had a chance possible at the corner route from the 3rd receiver in the inside, just not enough time to get there. But yeah, it's got to be quick, and you got to get your shoulders around.
Second and goal. Coleman Owen in motion, stops. Loose football, picked up by Kentucky, lost by Kentucky. Who's got it? Wildcats say they have it, and they do. A disaster for Ohio. J.J. Weaver comes up with the football for Kentucky.
Well, Mark Stoops said he feels like the ball just has not been bouncing their way as a quarterback. If you're going to pull that football, you have to be so strong with your hands. And Poles was not, but there's been about 6 or 7 balls on the ground the past 2 weeks, and it just feels like Kentucky has not found a way to pounce on top of it. Right there they did, so maybe this is finally the shift they needed. They scored in the red zone. They got a fumble recovery. They got the ball back for their offense.
J.J. Weaver had it, lost it, and thankfully for him, got it back. But what a tough break. First and goal, and they turn it over. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye in at running back for the Cats. They start this drive. Vandagriff going up top, looking for that big hitter. Barion Brown in double coverage, trying to stretch the field. An area they haven't had much success so far this season.
I like the shot right there. Get the turnover. Momentum's on your side. I like a little bit better coverage instead of single high turn through a poach route, but it's good sometimes to put that on tape and let your opponent know as well.
For an injured player.
Tank Pearson, the injured player, way back at the 15-yard line. He pops up and will jog off to the sideline. But, you know, they gave Vandagriff some time, something he hasn't had a whole lot of here the last couple of weeks, to throw the football.
That's the key. If you want to be able to take shots down the field, you got to be able to, one, run the football. They want to play action pass, and it's hard to play action pass when you're not having success on the ground. They showed last week they can get the ground game going with that offensive line and running back. It's going to afford you some opportunities to throw the ball down the field.
Anthony Brown-Stevens trying to find some room, and there is nothing there. Gavin Wimsatt came in at quarterback, took the snap. Loss of 3 on the play.
They just kept stretching and stretching it towards the sideline defensively, making Kentucky go east and west, being able to get north and south. And it'd be interesting to see at some point, Dave, do they let Wimsatt throw the football just to show something else besides, hey, we're going to just run it, or jet sweeps or zone reach from the quarterback when number 2's in there?
Vandagriff back in at quarterback. Ohio rushing 3, dropping 8. Vandagriff flushed out of the pocket, airs it up, has Key, makes the catch at midfield, and then some. He's down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 41.
Scramble drill, everyone, they practice this over and over again because they know what their quarterback can do. Buy some time. He's calling his shot, Brock. Throwing up over top. baby. Nice read. Perfect throw, but that is how the scramble drill is done. Find green grass and run to it.
Sets him up at the Ohio 41-yard line. Wilcox in at running back. He'll get the handoff, and he is stood up right in the hole by Blake Leak. Bucknell transfer, second on the team in total tackles. Able to do his job.
And the confidence of seeing Brock a couple weeks ago to how he played last week, making similar type plays outside the pocket, and then seeing a really good performance here in the first half from number 12. Once again, only his 4th career start.
Vandagriff, 8 of 9 for 111 yards. Handoff goes to Wilcox. Kentucky's closing in on 200 yards of total offense. They've held Ohio to under 100 to this point.
Really good on 3rd down, finding a very talented receiving core. Where's your one-on-one matchup? You get too high, middle of the field open.
Vandagriff flushed out of the pocket again on the run. Stays on his feet for a moment, gets lit up as he lets that one go, and Dane Key can't hang on to it as he was trying to come back. Boy, Vandagriff very unhappy about something over on that sideline. Marcel Walker-Burgess was chasing down Vandagriff.
Pretty sweet play from Vandagriff. I mean, the athleticism to stay up, pop up, throw it, and I think he's a little upset with maybe a late hit on the quarterback.
So here's a 56-yard field goal attempt. Set the school record last week from 55. Timeout by Kentucky. This kick by Rayner doesn't count.
Timeout, Kentucky. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Well, he had the leg to make it from 56.
I think that was a little seeing if does he have the leg to kick it?
Right.
Give him one chance to show that, hey man, you got the leg. Call the timeout, tell him kick it regardless. You line up again and give the young man an opportunity to hit the 56-yarder.
He has hit 11 straight field goals, which ties the Kentucky record. Austin McGinnis did it twice in his career. But going back to last year, Rayner has just been on a roll. He's hit 18 of 19 in his Kentucky career. I mean, he's really an amazing story. The transfer from Georgia Southern. Boy, what a luxury to know you can run a guy out there and just feel like it's an automatic 3.
Well, they're not actually going to do it. They've changed their mind.
He just showed you could do it.
I know. I was about to credit Stoops for playing a little bit of chess when we're all playing checkers over here, calling the timeout to give us
they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
I think that's what Brock Vandagriff was so upset about. I think he was begging the coaches to go for it. So that's what they're going to do on 4th down and 7. Empty set for the Cats. Vandagriff rolling right, has time, throws, pass caught to the 10. Dane Key hurdles a defender inside the 5. They'll run him out of bounds at the 2. A 36-yard pickup.
Well, we have an Olympian in the stadium here this afternoon. And Dane King looked like an Olympian with his hurdle right now. Finds the green grass, puts it in a spot between the two defenders as Brock. Look at the vertical. Can we just look at this? Up and over. The flexibility would have pulled both groins on that one.
Kentucky trying to get into the end zone again, and they do so. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, I know a lot of fans a week ago were hoping that they would have gone for it on that 4th down against Georgia. This time they do, and they get rewarded with a great completion, and then same thing just a zone downhill, give it to Demie, and watch him get into the end zone.
So Rayner does get to kick the football on this drive. This time, though, it's an extra point, so a couple of touchdowns here in the second quarter have pushed it to 17-0.
It started with the 4th down conversion, the big hurdle from Key. Kentucky gets in the end zone again.
And welcome back to SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. Coming up at halftime, you can watch a live performance of the Wildcat Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. Starts streaming now on the ESPN app. This kick is returnable. Tank Pearson coming out from the goal line. And he is to the 20-yard line and thrown to the turf right there.
Let's go check out Dane Key, making big plays throughout the ball game. 6'3", 210 in the red zone. You want to score touchdowns? Find number 6. And then finding ways also when Brock is out of the pocket to get open, use that frame, and man, that hurdle was pretty sweet.
How about 8 catches? Dane, or 4 catches for 109 yards already. The rest of the team, 5 catches for 48. Vandagriff, 9 of 11, 147 through the air. Ohio had it 1st and goal from the 5 just a moment ago. Trying to make it a 10-7 game. Instead, it's 17-0. They'll go with Ricky Hunt Jr. and Jamon Dumas-Johnson, the Georgia transfer, making a play from his linebacker position. Boy, it just has to be deflating to turn the ball over 1st and goal at the 5.
Yeah, you're in a tricky spot right now. You know, you don't want to give the ball back to Kentucky in this first half. Can you stay on the field? Love to put points on the board as well. And how aggressive are you going to be?
Ohio, not a big tempo team. They'll go on tempo a few series all season long, and they are really letting that clock wind down here in the second quarter. Polis trying to find a little bit of room to run. He gets it out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Alex Afari Jr., the linebacker there to bring him down, but a gain of 4.
Just getting a spacing concept, just full field read going from left to right. Nothing's there from Polis. Pulls it down, able to get to a 3rd and man. Well, this is what you want to see from this offense. Good 2 runs to start the drive. Now all of a sudden as a defense you have to worry about number 8 pulling it down in a threat.
Third down and 3. Flag comes out to stop this play.
The defense jumped to me.
Offsides. Defense number 0 in the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So a big break for Ohio. That was big. Deion Walker, when he does stuff, it's hard to miss.
Yeah, I don't know why the conversation when you have a 6'6" man that's 350 pounds, when he jumps into the neutral zone, pretty easy to see.
Is under video review.
Does the big man get back to his side of the line of scrimmage? That's what they're going to be looking at. The offense did a good job of.
They're going to say, I don't know that the whistle stopped that play, so they're going back to the catch.
The whistle should have stopped the play, though.
but they're looking at a catch, I think is what I was just told.
Yeah, but the whistle was blown before the quarterback let go of the football.
That's what I'm
so
just saying. I was just told that.
Yeah. No, I was surprised they blew the whistle as early as they did and not giving the quarterback an opportunity to throw the football. But whistle, I don't know if we have any audio to go with the play, but whistle was clearly blown before the ball was thrown, which probably should not have happened, but still you can't.
I'm with you. It's almost like people quit on the play, just just reverting back to the snap.
Great catch going up from Rodney Harris II. The whistle should not have been blown, Dave.
Right, unless they thought it was unabated to the quarterback, but I don't think that was the case. Dan Gotro will give us the announcement.
The previous play is not reviewable because the dead ball foul caused the snap not to action. So the offsides will still be enforced. 5-yard penalty, first down Ohio.
All that for nothing.
Ohio still gets the first down, stays on the field.
So it'll be first down. They'll spot it at the 32-yard line. 2:41 to play here before halftime. Ohio with 3 timeouts. Kentucky's used 1 here in the first half. Again, Parker Navarro, the expected starting quarterback, did not start this game. They've turned it over to Nick Polis. That pass is caught out to the 45-yard line by Coleman Owen, who picks up his second reception of the game. That one goes for 13.
I really like this Coleman Owen. It's funny when you watch offenses across the country, Dave, now, and these slot receivers are now a premium. It's not just the big guys on the outside, but can you find some wiggle room over the middle? And he's been great through the first part of the season.
He's top 20 in the country in receptions through the first 3 weeks of the season. This one sails over the head of Rodney Harris. So the 2-minute timeout is upon us. We'll step aside. 1:57 to go here in the first half. Kentucky leads it by 17.
The 2-minute timeout.
Well, welcome back here with Peter Burns. And Peter, what's coming up on the Farm Ridge Halftime Report?
We got Corey Peters, one of the Wildcat legends, going to break down the first half. Also, we'll talk Florida, looking pretty good down in Starkville, and get you ready for Tennessee, Oklahoma. Welcome to the SEC. You only got the hottest team in the country coming into your building. Is Aaron Murray still sweating from the pregame show? Is he doing okay, Dave?
I'm sure.
He's dehydrated, but that might have something to do with last night.
That's more. What a great time in Lexington.
Nice steak dinner. Jeff Ruby's here in Lexington. Thought you were going to get up on the stage and sing a little bit.
That was close. You had to hold me back. It's your fault.
Second down and 10. That one's incomplete right through the arms of Rodney Harris. Wouldn't have picked up much, but it'll stop the clock with 1:53 to go before halftime.
Third and long situation. All eyes, Coleman Owen in the slot. As we go to the safeties, do you rotate safeties over to the field to help out some support with the nickel? If that's the case, they're going to put number 7 Hendricks backside one-on-one man coverage.
And a whistle will stop the play.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Ohio. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 53
2022 SEC Player of the Year, Emma Grome leads 11th ranked Kentucky against number 2 Stanford in women's college volleyball from the Maples Pavilion in Palo Alto. That's tonight on ESPN2. Boy, they've got some volleyball going on here in Kentucky. Huge crowds coming out to watch the Cats play. That's 10:30 tonight over on ESPN2. 17-0 here, Kentucky. What do you think of Nick Polis's play here in the first half?
He's played well. I mean, hasn't been asked to do a lot, but he's been accurate with the football. He's run it when he's needed to run it. Besides the fumble on the bad exchange, the previous possession, he's moved the ball at times.
6 of 12, 83 yards. Ricky Hunt in the game, 3rd down and 10. And another whistle.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 53 seconds. The clock ran prior to the snap. Please start the clock at the snap. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what we'll do. 1:53.
Now going back and forth. Kentucky showed pressure before the timeout. Looked like they were dropping back on this one. Do they readjust once again?
Three-man rush. This pass is incomplete. Again, Harris had the football in his hands for a moment. Ty Ryan Nichols.
You gotta have strong hands right there, Rodney Harris. That's twice we've seen balls perfectly thrown. I mean, up and over. You just asked how Nick Polis was feeling and how he looked. I thought that was a perfectly thrown ball for number 8. As a receiver, you got to catch it knowing that contact is coming. You bring it in tight to your chest, and you take it and you go out of bounds for the first down.
Macklin back to return this punt. He stands at the 15-yard line. Jack Wilson and another whistle.
False start. Offense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
So Macklin back to return this punt. Young man transferred in from North Texas, started at Missouri. Will scoop this up and makes one guy miss and having trouble meeting some of those Ohio players. He'll be backed up inside the 15-yard line. Hey, well, this year in the SEC, Apple iPads will be used on the sidelines. You've probably seen that in the first few weeks of the season. The rule change this year permits the use of that sideline technology. Teams from the SEC will be using iPad Pro and iPad Airs to review multiple angles of in-game plays. NFL's been doing this for a while, but talking to these coaches, they really think it is such an added luxury to be able to see the play in real time, as opposed to listening to your players and what they think they're seeing.
Yes. Oh, coach, I saw this here, and you're like, no, did you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to go with that?
Right.
Are you positive? Because I'm looking at the video and I see something different.
Vandagriff will keep it himself. Brock, he's to the 20. Brock will get out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Nice run of 14 yards. Last 3 drives by the Cats. Been pretty impressive. They're chewing up some serious yardage.
Definitely impressive, too, with 2 touchdowns, 80-yard drives, and found a way to get in the end zone, trying to have some success and gain some confidence, too, making plays inside the 20-yard line.
Demie Sumo-Karngbaye. They will hand it to him. Huge hole off the left side.
This defense right now playing almost a 3-safety look. Going to try to keep everything in front of them. And
second down and 3. Now 1st down and 10 out over the 35 to the 37. Marcel Walker-Burgess finally trips up Sumo-Karngbaye. Gain of 7.
With 2 first downs and clock stopping on 1st down, still time to be able to run the football, throw it over the middle of the field as well.
112 yards on the ground for the Cats. Vandagriff. Sumo-Karngbaye makes a man myth. He's into midfield and in Ohio territory. Shea Taylor finally drags him to the turf.
This is when you start to see the maturity of a quarterback with Brock Vandagriff of seeing 2 high safeties, don't love the route concept on the outside versus that, where's my check down, get it to him right now.
Brock, where to run, and he got a couple of yards out of that.
Good time to call a timeout.
Timeout, Kentucky. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Hey, tonight after Georgia Southern and Ole Miss are done, Dari, Chris, Benjamin join you for SEC football final. We'll take you through the biggest stories of the day, break down all of the SEC games. That's tonight right here on the SEC Network, also on the ESPN app. There is no better SEC football highlight show than SEC football final. There's not one in the world better than that.
That is it, and there's some pretty good football teams and games in this conference. Tonight's game, Oklahoma and Tennessee, is going to be a fun one to sit back and watch, Dave.
I think a lot of people anxious to see how good Tennessee really is. How stout can Oklahoma be against that tempo of Tennessee? I mean, there's just so many things to keep an eye on tonight. Excited. Hopefully we'll get home in time to dial that one up on our tubes. Although it's not tubes anymore on TVs, it's flat screens. I just dated myself there. Here's Vandagriff. Oh, a flag comes out right in the middle of that line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, 15-yard penalty will be added from the previous spot. 1st down.
Well, the way Kentucky's been kicking the football, you've accomplished 1 goal. You got yourself in a position to now kick it. Now you have to, as an offense, make sure you take no unnecessary negative plays. So, message now that these quarterbacks have the earpieces to be able to communicate with the coaching staff is, hey, Brock, no sacks, no silly penalties. Get the ball out, stay in field goal range, make sure we have an attempt to get 3 before halftime.
Yeah, 1st down and 10 now from the 32-yard line. Blitz coming. Vandagriff sees a hole right up the middle, and he'll slide down at the 26-yard line. Kentucky will use a timeout.
A little interesting, taking that timeout.
Timeout, Kentucky. It is their 3rd. It will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 26 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know about taking that timeout there, Dave. I would have tried to get back to line of scrimmage, get 1 more play, hopefully get the 1st down, clock stops, and then from there you can take a decision. Do we go for it real quick, take a shot? But want to save that last timeout, because last thing you want to do is get in some sort of mayday situation where you're having the offense run out, special teams run on the field and try to kick the ball real quickly. So right here you're thinking almost get the 1st down and then spike the ball situation for this offense.
It has not been a smooth final 2 minutes here in the 1st half. A lot of start and stops. Kentucky would love this one to stop in the end zone. 2nd down and 6. Blitz comes again. Vandagriff throws it up high. This might be picked off. It is, but out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. DJ Walker back there and just out of bounds with the football. That'll stop it with 19 seconds to go.
I think this is the same situation you're telling Brock is this ball has to be this has to be a 1st down. In case it isn't, you are getting the special teams ready for a Mayday situation. You actually see on the sideline everyone waving their hands over their head with towels saying, hey, Mayday, 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 be ready to go. Just in case a 1st down is not and the clock is running, we got to run you on the field.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Be very sloppy. Dave, you said it best last 2 minutes, and I think right now is a good decision. Just kick the field goal. You know, don't risk trying to complete a first down, put the ball in harm's way. And they're going back and forth the decision, but it looks like they're going to try to keep the offense on the field.
So third down and 11. Pressure again comes. Vandagriff hit as the ball comes out of his hand. They're through the beanbag. Kentucky fell on it. The clock is continuing to run. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. I don't know that they're going to get this snap off. 3 seconds. That's going to be it for the half. And boy, that is a sequence that they hope that they don't have to watch on tape. That was not what you had in mind.
That is the end of the first half.
Man, that was rough to watch. Like we said, third and long situation, they're going to bring pressure. Just kick the field goal, take the points, and not risk some sort of Mayday situation. And Burgess does a great job coming to the defense end spot to knock it out of the hands of Brock Vandagriff.
Not the smoothest of endings to the first half, but Kentucky with a 17-point lead. Time to get you down to the field. Peter Burns in the Farm Ridge halftime report. PB?
Doing his things as well, and just complement a nice balanced passing and running attack for this offense. And besides really that last possession, which I put more on the coaching staff than the players, I thought everyone performed really well for Kentucky.
Cats averaging almost 8 yards per play in that first half. You see what they've done on the ground, trying to chase down that 152 average coming into this game. Of course, running the football against Georgia is not an easiest task to ask a team to do. They have come back today and look pretty good on the ground game. Let's go downstairs and visit with Ashley.
Guys, I just talked to Coach Stoops off camera. Asked him about that third and long situation before the half. He said that is not what we should have done. We should have taken the point. So he admits that that was a mistake. Want to start this half off clean, make sure that you keep them off balance. He said, I know with this team, that's going to be the big key. We can't let our foot off the gas. He was happy with Brock in that first half, and obviously I asked him just a sigh of relief after getting in the end zone. He said, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about the offense a lot, Ashley, but I mean, defensively, Kentucky posted a shutout. Played extremely well last weekend as well, giving up just 13 total points to the Bulldogs. Off the left side, they'll run with Tyus. Trayvon Ripka, the defensive end, stepping in there to make a play for the Cats defensively. I really like this group on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot of things you could point to, but you mentioned it early in this game. I mean, they got talent at all three levels. One thing we're going to keep an eye on is Maxwell Hairston, who left the game in the first half. Looked like he had a little shoulder injury. See how much he plays here in the second half. Another run with Tyus. He'll take it out to the 33-yard line. He's going to be 1.5 yards, maybe 2 shy of the first down. Jordan Lovett comes up to make a play.
Well, I think the thing that I love most about this defense is we saw it and kind of talked about it a little bit in the first half, but they get to play 2 high safeties and still have the ability to stop the run. Only 29 yards given up on the ground against a good Ohio offense and running attack with Tyus back there. So it's amazing. It's so hard to do because you can't really throw the ball successfully versus too high. You want to run it, but their front seven is just too stout.
So third down and short. Keep it on the ground with Tyus. He'll have the first down over the 35 to the 37. Trayvon Ripka there for the stop. That'll move the chains for the Bobcats. Keep this drive alive.
Carson Heidecker one-on-one with Deion Walker. Not an easy task. Able to get it done just enough on the big 6'6", 345-pound defensive tackle to give his running back room to get the first down.
Well, that's not a good sign seeing Tyus limp off to the sideline. So Ricky Hunt Jr. now comes into the game at running back. Ricky busted onto the scene in the bowl game last year in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, had 5 touchdowns and was the bowl game MVP. Fari and Ripka there to make the stop for the Cats. Those 5 touchdowns, tied an NCAA bowl record, also set a school record for touchdowns in a game. Coach is talking about him. Really good, complete back, super athlete, was a former high school quarterback. But playing behind Tyus this year, who came in top 10 in the FBS in rushing yards. Hunt trying to find a little bit of room. Kentucky stretches it out. Javon Dumas-Johnson with a push out of bounds. Now another 3rd down opportunity here. 3rd down, and let's call it 7.
I thought first half for Ohio had some opportunities to complete a few 3rd down opportunities. One before that 2-minute drive for Kentucky. Drop ball on the outside for Rodney Harris, number 11. There's been some good movement on this down and distance. Just got to be able to complete the catch with some of the receivers on the outside.
Kentucky bringing some extra rushers. Pocket collapses. Polis got hit by J.J. Weaver, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. 4th down.
They're bringing the heat right now. As a quarterback, you have to know ball's got to come out, and it's tough in a 3rd and long situation, but the pass rusher like J.J. Weaver on the outside, one-on-one with the left tackle, almost got a one hitch, take a shot, get the ball out, see if you get a completion, but good job giving up the first down. A couple of nice runs for Ohio, but then getting off the field for this defense to start the second half.
Jamori Macklin back to return the punt. He stands at the 20-yard line. Jack Wilson fields the snap. Line drive kick. Cats will get away from this one, and it'll be down inside the 20-yard line. So Kentucky with their first possession of the second half coming up on the other side. Down on the sidelines. Glad you could join us today from Lexington, Kentucky. 17-0. Cats out in front. Their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Brock Vandagriff with a nice first half. 10 of 13, 164 through the air. Kentucky's 270 total yards in a half are the most by the Cats in any half since October of 2022. Vandagriff throws it up. Nobody there. They put up 301 yards against Mississippi State in 22. Beat Mississippi State 27-17 in that game, but it's kind of a testament to where their offense had been last year.
I'll tell you what, there was definitely going into that halftime locker room a sense of relief, getting into the end zone a couple of times for the offense, and going to see a little bit more of Wimsatt here in the second half, see if he can throw the football as well to change it up.
Wimsatt bobbles it. Got walloped in the process by Dustin Johnson. And then Marcel Walker-Burgess came in there to clean it up.
Coaching staff said, hey, our best guy with the ball in their hands is Barion Brown. We got to find a way to get 7 touches. But the second most explosive guy was able to take the hit right there is Gavin. 6'3", 225, great size, able to run in between the tackles.
Off the left side, that'll be enough for the first down from Demie Sumo-Karngbaye. Chris Mayfield, back up nose, making a play. Shea Taylor, the linebacker for Ohio, had a big first half, had 8 tackles. New career high for him.
And Shea's coming off a game last week in which he had a little bit of a pitch count coming off that injury. Like, this is going to be the first game he's going to be play the majority of the snaps. Good to see him going out there making plays.
First down at 10. There's a flag. Ohio jumps. Vandagriff throws it up. Pass is caught. Dane Key with another big gainer into Ohio territory at the 36-yard line.
Dane King may have a career game going on right now. Free play, so quarterback's confident. They go 1 for the deep angle and then 2 on the deep cross.
Maybe a hold in this,
There are
too.
fouls on both teams on the play. Holding, offense, number 52. Offsides, defense, in the neutral zone of the snap. Those fouls will offset, remains first down.
Well, they want to get explosive plays in the football game, and we're able to get a couple in that first half, especially with Brock outside of the pocket, throwing the ball and some scramble drills and then a rollout as well. It's a missed opportunity for an explosive play on a free play, nonetheless, with the offsides on the defense.
So we'll do it again, first down and 10. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye comes in motion. Near side, empty set look for the Cats. Vandagriff throws, passes caught there by Jordan Dingle, the tight end. His first catch this afternoon, and that's good enough for a first down. He picks up 19 yards.
That is a difficult throw from Brock Vandagriff. You have a corner that's kind of dropping in no man's land with a corner route over the top. You see the ability to get up and over like you're throwing over a goalpost. You had to put a little tempo on it, but still high enough where the corner can't make a play.
Sumo-Karngbaye dancing around. Boy, made 7-8 yards out of what looked like about a 2-yard gain.
When we talk about start the game, Dave, that this Ohio team is got to pride itself on two things. One, playing very hard, very physical, and then tackling well. But the way the Kentucky running backs have been playing for the past 2 weeks, that has been a tall task for this defense.
Wilcox now in at running back. He'll have the first down. Stopped at the 36-yard line by Walker Burgess. Gain of 7.
Well, this is the beauty of taking some shots down the field and completing the balls as well to guys like Key and obviously the running ability of Brock Vandagriff to extend plays. You're getting a little bit of a lighter box right now, a little bit more too high safety looks, linebackers that aren't as aggressive getting downhill. And now you're seeing this offensive line work their way easily to the second level.
Here's first down and 10. Vandagriff will throw near side. Pass caught there by Dingle. Spins out of trouble and gets it to the 30-yard line.
Really nice drive. Love the balance. Running the football. They knew they had to get Brock out of the pocket. This is going to be a theme the entire season. They don't want to be a straight drop back team for the majority of their pass plays. They want to move him in and outside the pocket, protect him as this offensive line continues to gain confidence.
Handoff again goes to Wilcox. Brought down by C.J. Doggett. It's a gain of a couple for Wilcox, who's put together a nice afternoon on the ground. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry today. And of course, there's not a whole lot of depth in that running back position. Really only 2 healthy running backs with Sumo-Karngbaye and Wilcox. Hope to get Chip Trainum back, the Ohio State transfer. Sumo-Karngbaye inside the 20. That's good enough for the first down on 3rd and short. Yeah, Chip Trainum, the guy they were kind of hoping to kind of take the role, haven't really used him a bunch coming into the season, preseason practices. Coach says we're not really sure what we have. He looked good when he was out there, but he's had a pin placed in his hand. That's coming out this week, and they expect him back on the football field and ready to go next week to get some snaps against Ole Miss. There is Brown.
Go back to Chip real quick, Dave. The thing that you want to have, especially as you get a little bit more into this SEC season, is just depth. And you said they feel like they have someone that can possibly be the starter, the guy in the room, but you still want to be able to have 3 running backs. You see the best running back groups across the country, 2, 3 guys you can rotate in. And then you know what Brock can do running the football. We've seen what Gavin can do running the football as well, and you kind of spread those touches around.
Second down. To the end zone, and that one is incomplete. Trying to find Dane Key. Tank Pearson back there in coverage.
We're going to get double post and single high safety. Brock is going to try and fit this one in there. You got the leverage. And Ball, I think he got in there just barely, but Tank Pearson draped over the top there of Dane Key. Well-placed football, but just better job by number 7 defensively to be able to be just disruptive enough.
Key goes in motion out of the backfield. Vandagriff looking to throw that way toward Key to the end zone, and that one is tapped out of there at the last minute by DJ Walker. Turned his head around just in time to get a deflection.
You know, one thing I like about Brock in this football game compared to what we've seen maybe the first few games of the season is he's letting it rip. You know, at times you may make mistakes, but he sees the route, he's throwing it on time, and we've had 2 really good defensive plays the past 2 ones, but he's trusting what the coaching staff is calling. He's trusting his receivers, he's letting it go, and those receptions are going to start to drop here soon.
So from 34 yards away, Alex Rayner trying to set a school record for consecutive field goals made, and he just did it. 12 in a row going back to last year. A new UK record for Mr. Rayner. Time now for our Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. Dane Key has had a heck of an afternoon. 109 yards receiving, and this one right here hurdles. And I think he was just showing off, because we've got Sidney McLaughlin, a former Kentucky Wildcat track star, an Olympic gold medalist, a couple of golds in Paris. And she was honored into the Kentucky Hall of Fame this weekend. Jody Meeks was down there, but I think Dane was just showing off.
Yeah, he's showing I can go do it. I still put my money on her to win. But
yes, I know.
That was, I mean, he got up. He got up. He's having a great afternoon, and unfortunately had a big completion taking away that last possession as well.
20-0 Kentucky on top of Ohio. 5:18 to go here in the third quarter. Cats trying to take care of their business, because up next Saturday, their first road trip of the year, and they're going to Ole Miss. That one sails through the end zone and out to the 25-yard line. Let's go down to Ashland.
Guys, we saw Trey Tyus kind of limp off the field in that last series. He went straight to the medical tent. The trainer ran in with some tape. It was just to tape up that right ankle a little bit extra. He came out, jumped on it a bit, said, look, I'm good to go. But we got to be on the lookout a little bit for that ankle.
Yeah, that's their leader in the backfield in the run game. One of the best going.
Well, so you want him healthy for when you start playing some action as well this season. So it'll be interesting to see how much he plays here in the second half going forward.
They line him up in the slot. Empty set. Nick Polis, your quarterback, got the start today. That one is picked off. That'll be a touchdown, Kentucky. Maxwell Hairston, his first interception of the year. That is his 3rd pick 6 of his career. Woo!
Can't be late to the flat. You just can't do it. Warner's just saying, great. I mean, look at the communication on the back end of, hey, you got the inside route, I got the inside route, passed it off absolutely beautifully between him and the linebacker, and then Hairston just steps in front of that. Too easy for his 3rd career pick 6.
He had 5 interceptions a year ago, which was 5th in the FBS. Had 2 pick 6 last year. Both of those came against Vanderbilt, but that might have been his easiest one. Point after by Rayner is up and good, and the score now is 27-0. Cats out in front. On campus, that's going to be nuts. Anxious to get that underway and see how it all plays out. So out to the 25-yard line, Ohio will try to hit the reset button after the pick six. Again, Nick Polis getting the start today. Their usual starter, Parker Navarro, was listed as questionable coming into the game with an undisclosed injury. And during warm-ups today, Parker didn't throw any ball, just kind of stood around. You kind of knew right then he wasn't going to be your guy. So Nick Polis, who played some last week in the second half, got the start today. And Nick, 6 of 15, 83 yards, that one pick six. Ricky Hunt Jr. will start this drive as the running back. He'll split out to the right. Polis goes that way, and this pass is a little bit behind, and Polis paid for it with two defenders jumping on top of him right as he let go of the football.
I think the hard part is right now is Nick is such a good runner. I mean, athletic, very fast, long strides. But he is your backup quarterback, and your starter is out of this football game. So you're probably a little bit hesitant to just line him up and run the football, not wanting to get to the third guy in case something does happen.
Play clock down to 1. They don't get it off. Well,
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
I just looked over there at Tim Albin, and he is not happy with the way that went.
Well, they do a lot of checking. It's a lot of one high safety, two high safety, two high safety. Let's get to our run play, one high safety. Let's figure out what our best pass play is, and got to find a way to get Coleman Owen in the slot a little bit more involved here.
Goes nowhere on second down, so that'll be third down and long. Eric Jackson, the first blue jersey there.
Not really seen any sort of screen pass today, something where this third and long situation, you don't want your quarterback taking a big drop with multiple hitches. We've seen what Kentucky's been able to do when its pass play is over 10 yards. So something real quick right now and see if you can get a good return on it.
Quick hitter out to the outside. Coleman Owen is wrapped up immediately, and he got a yard, so it'll be fourth down coming up. Steven Sold Jr., 35, the freshman, getting some snaps here against Ohio, making a nice play.
I think Kentucky was thinking the same thing we were just talking about, Dave. Hey, they've not been able to protect their quarterback in these situations. Be alert for some sort of screen to the slot or the running back, and they're all over Owen there to get off the field once again.
Macklin back to return the punt at the 42. Jack Wilson will punt it away. A short kick, fair catch called for at the 45, and that is where Kentucky will have it. Well, for Ohio football, the guy that kind of brought them back to the promised land was Frank Solich, who started his collegiate career as a player at Nebraska. Matter of fact, first ever Husker to rush for over 200 yards. Was all Big 12 first team, then became the Nebraska coach, two-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. Then he went on to Ohio, where he was the 06 MAC Coach of the Year, the winningest coach in Ohio history, 115 wins, retired a few years back, turned things over to his longtime assistant, Coach Albin, and he is being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations to him, a fantastic coach and mentor to so many young men over the years. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye, they're going to actually honor Coach Solich up in Athens, Ohio, later in October. There's Coach Albin, who spent so many years with Coach Solich, and when we talked to him about, just what is it about Coach Solich? Like, what did you take away? And he says, well, man, you got to instill so much trust in your program. And hand off right back to the line of scrimmage. You need to have a caring environment, and if you start with those two things, the rest will fall into place.
I've just been so impressed, not just with Ohio and what they've been able to do and what he's been able to do, but just the MAC conference in general. What caliber of players and teams and coaches you're getting out of that conference. And he's even talking with Kentucky this week, the respect that they have for the MAC and for Ohio heading into this matchup. You knew they were not going to overlook them at all.
On third down, there's Anthony Brown-Stevens, and he'll dive close to the 45. That's going to be short by about a yard. Tank Pearson brings him down, so 4.5 yard. Kentucky looks like they want to go for it. Big hit on the fake. Vandagriff can't get out of the trouble of Stellan Bowman, the true freshman linebacker. Stayed with Vandagriff and made the play.
As a couple times now we've seen quarterback exchange with the running back, just not strong enough hands from the quarterback. And I think if he would have pulled that and be able to secure it, better shot to possibly hit that edge before the linebacker had a chance to make a play on Brock. That's what teams do nowadays with these zone reads. They'll have the first defensive end rush down to take the running back, and then they have the linebacker kind of what we call scraping over the top to take the quarterback. But I still think if Brock was Vandagriff able to secure the football, might have gotten that first down for Kentucky.
Ohio takes over close to midfield. Ricky Hunt Jr. now at tailback. Couple of tight ends. Polis stops, fires, has his man. There's Coleman Owen getting open deep downfield. He'll spot the ball inside the 25 at the 24.
Now, it looked like an option at the linebackers in second level to hesitate. Even the receivers do a good job of stock blocking, and then nice, patient, not overrunning the route down the field, finding the zone and throttling down, and being very friendly for the quarterback.
4 catches today for Owen, and now has 25 on the season. Young man who transferred in from Northern Arizona. Handoff goes to Hunt. Pick up a couple of yards. The other thing about Coleman Owen, he's a graduate transfer from Northern Arizona, but he's made straight A's in his college career. Wow. I don't know what that's like.
No, definitely don't. Definitely don't.
Wouldn't know how to put my arms around that one.
We went to school for football, right? You know, is that the saying?
You did.
I did.
I'm not quite sure what I went there for, but I went. I guess I did go to Florida State for the football to watch. It was good back then. Dion was playing.
He's a win here soon.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, nice play fake from Polis. He keeps it. He's inside the 5. The big fella at 6'6". They'll spot him down at the 2-yard line. Gain of 20.
I think we get more of this in the game. We just talked about previous possession. He's reading the defensive end. He gets north, and you see the athleticism.
Ricky Hunt, not much in a sea of big bodies down there. So that'll be it for the third quarter. Kentucky up 27-0. When we come back, we'll get the thoughts of Coach Stoops. Stay with us.
Here with head coach Mark Stoops. And coach, we've been talking a lot about the offense, but the defense, able to keep them scoreless, able to get that pick 6. What have you thought of that unit through 3?
Yeah, for the most part, we've played pretty clean defensively. We're driving it right here, though. We got to see if we can dig our heels in and get a stop here. We got them on the 2 or the 3.
All right, coach, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see if they can dig those heels into this turf. Defensive line with their hands on the goal line. Ohio trying to punch it in. Did they get in? No signal yet. There it is, touchdown Ohio. A 1-yard touchdown run from Ricky Hunt. And Ohio is on the board.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Gonna take advantage of a short field, 4th and 1. Kentucky's unable to convert. Really nice pass play to Coleman Owen. I like to see Polis get loose a little bit in the run game and then punch it in for the first score of the afternoon to start this 4th quarter.
Waiting for the official confirmation of a touchdown.
Maybe close. It's hard to tell when he was actually down. Saw the ball cross the plane at one point. It's hard to see when the knee went down, and looks like they're going to keep it as a touchdown for Ohio.
So the Bobcats will get to 6. Now they're looking for their 7th points. Now they're going to stop it.
Timeout, Ohio. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Interesting time to use a timeout there.
Well, right before we got the announcement or the go-ahead to kick the extra point, it looked like Ohio, somebody over there said, let's get our offense back on the field, like they want to go for 2.
I guess if you get to 19 points, that's 2 touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions plus a field goal. So technically a 3-possession game instead of down 20. You need a few more touchdowns.
Well, let's go for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis. So they'll work from the far hash mark. Tim Albin, 50% success rate on 2-point conversions. See what they dial up here with Ricky Hunt Jr. in the game at running back. Next to Nick Polis, the quarterback. Owen comes in motion, sets up in the slot. Looking left. Now back to the middle, batted in the air, and that one's incomplete. So 27-6 our tally. 14:53 to go, 4th quarter. Our SEC football lineup continues later on today, 4:15 Eastern time. Number 7 Missouri trying to keep it rolling against Vanderbilt right here on the SEC Network, followed by Georgia Southern heading into Oxford to take on the 5th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels, 7:45. Also, don't forget, exclusively over on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus, you can see Bowling Green and Texas A&M. And of course, number 1 Texas, led by Arch Manning tonight, hosting Louisiana Monroe, led by General Booty. It's true, General Booty. How about that? Ohio just picked up their first touchdown. Failed on the 2-point conversion. I think Kentucky's wants to, that part of the game where they want to start chewing up some clock, get out of here, and get set for next week's SEC game against Ole Miss on the road. Here's Demie Sumo-Karngbaye. He's tackled around the 43-yard line. Let's go downstairs, check in with Ashley.
Guys, I really love the conversation I had with Brock this week, just saying how ready he is for this moment, being the guy, as you were talking about, Aaron. And he said because of his time at Georgia, yes, he was the number 2, but you prepare there like you're the number 1. He said, I took that job so seriously in the way I prepared, how I carried myself throughout the week. And he said, look, you just have to be ready to come in and show no drop-off. So he just really took that to heart, which is why in terms of staying composed, being ready for this moment of being the guy, that's what we're seeing in his first real starting job of his career.
Career high today, throwing the football. Thought he's looked more and more confident from where they were as an offense 2 weeks ago to where he is now, and this offense is now. And yeah, man, like, I would say this too. You're the backup quarterback going against maybe one of the best defenses in the country year in and year out. Every single week in practice at Georgia definitely helps prepare you to take on this position right now here in Kentucky.
First down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Vandagriff will just bury it. They were trying to set up a little screen. Ohio read that one extremely well. Vandagriff came in completing 52% of his passes this year, had 313 yards through really 2.5 games. There wasn't much in that Southern Miss game because of the lightning and calling it early in the third quarter. But today, Brock, 14 of 21 for 198, 67% completion. Throw it again, coming back near side. Here's Barion Brown. Barion tripped up right as he was crossing midfield by Dustin Johnson. Brown looks like he may be feeling a little pain after that tackle.
And it is a really, really talented receiving core, and part of the reason why Brock came here is knowing that he's going to have some receivers to throw to, from Brown to Key, and then he was instrumental in getting Macklin here through the portal as well. And 3 key receivers just now get healthy at the running back spot and continue to progress at the O-line. This could be a good offense.
Vandagriff will keep it himself. He's inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Rowan Perotti makes the tackle.
That's what he can do right here. It's the toughness. Looks like maybe a little miscommunication with him and Demie Sumo-Karngbaye. But the ability just to pull it down, run the football. I know they want to take some of those big hits off him, and that's, to me, that's the next stage too in his development, is understanding when and when not to lead with that shoulder and just slide once you get the first down.
Throw it here, Vandagriff. Flag comes out and he just sails it out of bounds. Rodney Harris. Nathan Hale putting the pressure on Vandagriff.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Dylan Ray, by the way, playing left guard today for Jagger Burton, who's still out with an injury.
You can see right now they're still trying to work this pass game. They're still trying to gain some confidence with throwing the ball down the field, see what concepts that you can put on tape to continue to work on, and just was not there. Then on top of that, the holding penalty.
Vandagriff, another flag comes out. Brock will take it himself, and big collision around the 32-yard line, and it may be for naught. Austin Brawley met Vandagriff.
Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, this is what we just talked about for Brock Vandagriff. It's 27-6. We're in the fourth quarter, and you lower and initiate the boom there. And listen, he's worked his tail off. He's great size, physical. He really has dedicated himself, especially when he first got here. He was telling us, to the weight room, earning respect in the weight room, in the film room. But man, it's only fourth game of the season. You got the whole SEC schedule ahead of you. Those are just unnecessary hits for the quarterback.
Well, it is now first down and 30. Over the middle, this pass is caught around the 39-yard line by Dane Key. Another reception for Dane, now up to 6 catches. That's a 14-yard pickup.
Man, Dane, he's been running those deep crosses really well and understanding when to run full speed, when to be a little bit more patient, finding the hole for his quarterback, and then also manipulating the depth of his routes. And then, man, the ability for a big guy to go down there and get that.
Pressure comes. Kentucky picks it up. Catch is made, first down. Dane Key again now with 7 catches. That's 17-yard pickup, and he's got 140 yards of receptions.
It's all about how you get off the line of scrimmage and run it, making that DB. Talked about it earlier with Barion Brown on a similar out route. making everything look like a go ball. And that way the DB's in a bind, and then you can break it out real friendly and make the catch.
7-1 for 145 for Dane Key. Little end around. This one looks like it's going to be a touchdown for Barion Brown. 23-yard scamper for Barion Brown.
Defensively for Ohio, one of the keys was you have to limit the explosive plays from number 7, and a little hard to do when they just hand him the football. And that's an explosive. This is one of the things we talked about in the first quarter. Explosive plays don't always have to be throwing the ball 20+ yards down the field. Find creative, fun ways to get your athletes the ball, and then allow them to sit. You sit back as a coaching staff and allow them to do the rest of the work.
Alex Rayner with the point after. He does his job. Now 34-6, Kentucky out in front. Barion Brown has a couple of touchdown receptions this year, but his first rushing touchdown. Hey, albeit a little humid here in Lexington, Kentucky. You look at our game summary, a couple of guys with some career highs. Demie Sumo-Karngbaye, a couple of touchdowns today, career high for him. And Dane Key's had one heck of an afternoon. 7 catches for 145 yards. Dane came in with 8 catches for 119 on the season. Look, I still think this is a really good wide receiver group. I mean, throw Macklin in there this year, the transfer in from North Texas. Started at Missouri, but with Brown and Key, and Anthony Brown-Stevens, Brett Ferrier's getting some work. I mean, I think it's a good group. They just got to be able to give some time to Vandagriff, and then he's got to deliver. Dennis bobbles the football, trying to get the outside, can't do it. He's dropped at the 21-yard line. Hey, tonight after Georgia Southern and Ole Miss are done on the field, how about Dari, Chris, and Benjamin? They'll join you for SEC football final. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the SEC games. That's tonight here on the SEC Network, also over on the ESPN app. How about some of the numbers? Some of these offenses have just been incredible in the SEC. Look at the numbers these teams are putting up. That is just gross through the first month of the season. I'll bring that back up. You got to look at some of those numbers. Of course, Ole Miss just lights up. I mean, they're putting up new light bulbs over there at Vaught Hemingway. Here's 4-man rush. That one is behind the intended target, Rodarte. But how about those numbers? Look at these. Ole Miss up over 60 points a game. Tennessee over 60. Ole Miss at 56.
Tennessee put 60 up in the first half last week versus Kent State. I mean, just unbelievable. The power of the offense is great quarterback play. I mean, those first 4 teams right there, their quarterbacks all going to be in the discussion for the Heisman at the end of the season, playing at a high level early on.
NFL teams, of course, complain that there's not enough offense. Some folks even complain that we need to get rid of the too deep safety look.
Oh, it's just silly. Come on, Kuiper.
I know. There's a flag comes out at the end of that play.
Holding. Offense, number 55. The penalty is declined. It'll be 3rd down.
Jordan Jones with the violation, but denied by Kentucky. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 coming up. 3rd down, almost 10 for the Bobcats.
Tell you what, you know who's happy in the NFL about all this too high safety? The running backs. You know, they're going to have a good year this year, and then they're going to start asking for more money because they've been underpaid.
They can underpay me. I'll take that salary.
You take the hits, though?
I'd say that. Handoff goes to Ricky Hunt Jr. He'll be shy of the 1st down. That's one thing, it's just incredible to watch how big these college kids are nowadays, how fast they're playing. the amount of hits. Like I'm watching Brock Vandagriff take some of these shots today. And you're like, man, you can't just take those all year long.
Oh, we saw him yesterday in the meeting, and a couple bruises here or there, a couple skid marks, especially from the turf. And
yeah, Brock was a little beat up.
It's too early in the season to be feeling like that. Too early in the season. I know you just played Georgia, and that's physical, a football game you're going to probably play.
That is fielded at the 30-yard line by Macklin. He'll get out of bounds. You've had some success here. You got to play against Kentucky 4 times in your career.
Did.
You remember? I don't know if you remember this or not. Do you remember back in 2012? You guys won by 5 here. Do you remember? You remember that? We went 30 of 38 for 427 and 4 touchdowns.
Career high.
Do you remember that? I just wonder if you remember that.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Good times in Kroger Field. The 2 times I was fortunate enough to play in this stadium.
I had a chance to talk to Peter Burge earlier today about some of the memories. Obviously, I was here for the Bluegrass Miracle, one of the great games at SEC plays. Wimsatt checks in at quarterback. So maybe they're giving Vandagriff some time off here. That one goes to Anthony Brown-Stevens. He'll have the first down, but gave me a chance to kind of reflect, too, about Jared Lorenzen.
Yeah.
Who, in my opinion, and you just watch his highlights, obviously people knew him because he was such a big man. But he was one heck of an athlete that could really play the position.
Yes. Can spin it, man. Was one of the best to do it here. The hefty lefty, baby, was a lot of fun to watch.
He was so fun to be around, man. He just left us too early for sure. But one of my favorite, if not favorite, players to cover in the last 25 years in this league. Such a talent. Wilcox with that carry. There was one game, speaking of Georgia, there was one game, and I think it was DJ Shockley's year at quarterback, where he was banged up. He came in here, and we didn't know if he was going to play or not. And Corey Phillips got the start against Lorenzen, and they both threw for over like 400 yards in that game. I don't know if Corey Phillips started another game, but he had one of the all-time great days I've ever seen a quarterback
Tooling
have.
against the lefty. I love it.
First down and 10. Wimsatt hard to bring down, but they were able to take him to the turf. Caden Schmitz will get credit for the sack.
I was kind of waiting for that. I want to see what Wimsatt can do throwing the football. That's going to be one of his first opportunities. We're going to get that chance to see, all right, he's a great athlete, good size, can run it. What's it going to look like when he lets it rip and just bringing the cross dog blitz from the 2 linebackers on the inside and no one there for Schmidt.
Second down and 23 now. Wimsatt throws. Oh, what an arm. Talk about spinning the football. Anthony Brown-Stevens makes the catch, but how about the throw?
And the DB read it perfectly over the top, going to his left, having to throw the deep out. You got to make sure you throw that thing to the sideline and just past the fingertips. But Brawley, the safety, coming over the top. That is as good as you can get. Throwing that deep sail route on the move.
First down and 10. Again, Wimsatt 6'3", 227 out of Owensboro High School here in Kentucky. He's dropped for a loss by DJ Walker. Rutgers transfer, but his first year here in this offense, came in a little bit late, still trying to get his feet under him. Had 19 starts in 25 games over the last 3 years. Threw for 2,500 yards, rushed it for over 600, had 11 touchdowns in his time at Rutgers. Second down and 15 now for the Cats. Wimsatt taking himself. He's to the 29 and a flag comes in. And looks like that's in the area of holding again. Tank Pearson and Austin Brawley bring down Wimsatt.
Holding, offense number 15. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains second down.
That's the tight end, Anderson. They like their tight end room too, with Caddis, Dingle, Anderson there. The freshman Willie Rodriguez also in the mix in that tight end room. Wimsatt to throw, another long out. This one is to Brown. He held on, but he was out of bounds. He was juggling on the way down. Tank Pearson over there in coverage.
There's a few times they've run this route. And Tank said, no more. I'm not going to just back up anymore. And still almost an incredible catch on the outside from Barion Brown. Oh, that last second juggle. Thought he might have had it there for a split second. Good opportunity here, 3rd and long situation. See if you get in the field goal range for your kicker to knock another one in.
Wilcox in at running back. Whistles will stop play. Timeout taken
Prior to the
by
snap.
Kentucky.
Timeout. Kentucky. It is their first.
So we'll take the timeout as well. 6:17 to play.
Guys, they roll and start.
Yeah, Dory, 93% will usually get you a win, I'm thinking.
It's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That was a must-win
Yes.
for Florida. Billy Napier. Must-win on the road there.
Wimsatt. Man, does he have a cannon. That pass is caught, and it should be good enough for the first down at the 20-yard line. That one goes to Fred Ferrier, the second, the transfer from UAB with his 5th catch of the year.
Well, it starts with the protection up front. Look at that. He's able to pitches to get to that dagger route, coming across, wins the route at the top of it. And another accurate football from Gavin Wimsatt down the field.
Boy, he does have some arm talent. Sumo-Karngbaye in at running back, but they will hand it off to the outside, and Anthony Brown-Stevens wrapped up. He's dropped around the 22-yard line. They're going to lose a couple on that play.
They've been trying to get Wimsatt in to get this season going. They know the talent's there, and I think the hard part is the balancing of Brock only being in his 4th career start. He needs game reps, legit game reps. So you really don't want to take it out of him. And then obviously you're in a dogfight week 2 that kind of ran away from you. And then, you know, dogfight last week versus Georgia. So this is great stuff from number 2 getting here, making some big time completions and runs.
442 yards of offense for Kentucky. We'll have some more here after the run by Gavin Wimsatt. Aiden Schmitz gets credit for the tackle. Don't forget, coming up at 4:15 Eastern time, right on this network, Vandy and Missouri. Tigers trying to keep that train rolling in the right direction. Vandy had a really tough loss in their last outing. A touchdown late against Georgia State in Atlanta. Trying to rebound from that loss. Tough place to do it in Columbia, Missouri. Here's Wimsatt trying to get the edge, and big collision out around the 2-yard line. He and Austin Brawley got to know each other a bit. Trading some paint down there.
I tell you what, these Kentucky quarterbacks are not afraid to lower the shoulder, and especially that right shoulder, just got to be a little bit more, a little safer with it, but is why they want to continue to develop him, to be able to take hits off Brock. Wimsatt right now, the way he's throwing and running the football, definitely showcasing that he needs more of that going forward this season.
Wimsatt trying to reach pay dirt, and he does so. 2-yard touchdown run for Gavin Wimsatt. Good drive for number 2.
It just wasn't running the football, it was the passes. I mean, that semi-rollout to the left, throwing the ball in the sail route was a thing of beauty. You're not going to see many guys throw it better than what he was able to accomplish there. The dagger route was on time, in rhythm, good footwork. But man, the size and strength of him to be able to run some of these balls in the red zone could be something. We talk about the struggles of Kentucky heading into the game inside the red. You have a guy like that I like that Tim Tebow, Chris Leak era for Florida. Bring him in there to get those tough yardage inside the red.
So Rayner attempt to put the 41st point on the board for Kentucky today, and they do so. It is 41-6, 3:45 to go in this one. And for Kentucky, you see what's coming up. Finally hit the road after 4 straight home games. They'll go to Oxford next Saturday, then they get a week off before hosting Vanderbilt, then at Florida. Some winnable games in there, you would think, that there'll be games that they'll be favored in.
Yeah, it should be games they should be favored in. If they keep progressing next week, the game at Ole Miss is going to be a great matchup. I mean, this is a Kentucky defense that has really showcased its ability over the past 2 weeks, between Georgia last week, Ohio here this afternoon, going against one of the premier offenses in all of college football, not just this country. We just saw the stats and how many points per game they're putting up. Jackson Dart and those receivers and Lane Kiffin. It's going to be a fun matchup watching those two units go after it.
Kentucky just trying to find some rhythm. Of course, the opening game with Southern Miss was just a disaster weather-wise. It only played a little over 2 quarters of football before it was canceled. Then they had the debacle against South Carolina when it was just, I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And then last week, you played pretty well, and boy, Brawley's going to bring it out. He stutter-stepped and got it to the 15-yard line. Of course, even better served to take a knee. Well, Ohio will start conference play next week. They get Akron. And then they take a week off before they face a couple of road games in Central Michigan and Miami of Ohio. Boy, the MAC this year's got some really quality teams. One of the tough parts of being the MAC, I was looking at this, you know, there were over 300 kids that were plucked from MAC schools in the transfer portal last year.
And you're talking with this coaching staff, having to replace their receivers and getting a guy like Coleman in the slot, not easy to do when they're having to replace and find new personnel year in and year out now with this new era of college football.
Boy, Ohio lost 37 players in the transfer portal, but look at just the numbers. I mean, it really is incredible. And then you think about what teams like Toledo and Northern Illinois have done this year with some big wins, having to replace their rosters over and over.
Not easy to do. Hard to build chemistry, especially up front. I think that's, you know, we've seen some bad offensive line play across the country, and you talk to coaches, and it's hard to build that chemistry with those 5 guys up front when there's new bodies, new faces, guys playing new positions. These coaches for Ohio and the rest of the MAC do just a great job of just being coaches, getting these guys ready to play each and every week with these new rosters.
Polis 8 of 19 for 110 yards, had that pick-6 interception in the third quarter, which provided really the big separation in this game between these two teams. Polis got the start. Parker Navarro, still no update on exactly what is wrong. It was an undisclosed injury for Parker Navarro, and certainly he's their guy, their starter. They need to get him healthy as they get into MAC play. Our 2-minute timeout, 41-6, Kentucky out in front, trying to close it out here against Ohio. Time to take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance, and well, it's been just a magnificent day for number 6 in blue. Dane Key has had a career afternoon.
All right, Brock has looked good throwing him the football, but man, those deep cross routes, and then the big hurdle up and over. Going up, using his big 6'3" frame on third down and red zone situations has been great all afternoon.
2 minutes to go with this one. Dane Key, a big reason Kentucky's put up 41 points today. career high for Dane Key with 145 yards receiving. How about the average per catch, though? I think that's what jumps out at me. Over 20 yards per grab today.
You want explosive plays for Kentucky fans? Find Dane Key down the field. Give you some confidence in this offense.
Kentucky, by the way, also 488 yards of offense today. Last time they went over 500 was against Louisville in 2021, a game they won 52-21 over the Cardinals. Of course, they'll wrap up the season again with the Cardinals on November 30th here at Kroger Field. Kentucky going to even their record at 2-2. Ohio will also be 2-2 when this one is in the books. Under a minute to play. Your takeaway from today's Kentucky performance?
I said at the beginning of the broadcast, the Kentucky we saw last week versus Georgia is kind of the Kentucky I was anticipating this season. And we saw that today, and even more so in the passing game with Brock and these receivers. It's a great defense, really good receivers, good running game, quarterback that's going to get better and better every week. This offensive line is still going to be the big question mark. Can those guys continue to protect up front once they get into SEC play?
Well, they'll get a couple of healthy bodies back. Jagger Burton hopefully be playing next week for this Kentucky team. Gerald Mincy getting healthier. He played today. They'll need all the healthy bodies they can get as they get set to take on the Ole Miss Rebels next weekend. But this one will go the way of Big Blue. 41-6, our final score. Big day for Dane Key with 145 yards receiving, 82 on the ground from Wilcox. Vandagriff throws for 237. So for Aaron, Ashley, the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Lexington, Kentucky. Time to get you back to the studio. Dory, Chris, Benjamin, it's all yours.